So yesterday, we talked about how to draw the arrows on the number line. And I know you're saying, wow, that was such a hard lesson, Mr. H. Yeah, I know, so hard. If we go to positive 7, we start at 0, we draw an arrow all the way up to 7. If it says 3, we draw 3 more after that. I mean, the number line portion should be making some sense. But some of the things that I want to reiterate is positives, we're going to the right. That's our positive direction on our number line. Positive means to the right. When I think about positives and negatives, our integers right now, because that's what we're dealing with right now. So integers, remember we've got our 0, we've got all of our positive counting numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then all of the opposites. So if we have positive 5, it matches up over here with negative 5. It can fold onto itself, nice and symmetrical, perfect like that. Okay, so we're only dealing with our integers. So when we have positives, they're heading on the number line to the right. When we're negatives, we're moving to the left. And I'm going to do that a lot. I'm going to physically say, okay, I've now moved positive 8. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to stop. Let's say the next number is positive. Which direction do I need to go? And I'm going to physically turn my body. I want it to become a little clue up in our head of how to make this work. So exercise 1. We're talking about grandma, because who doesn't love grandma? She's given us $10. Okay? So God bless my grandma's soul. I call it a Graham. Graham gave me $10. And then I spent $4. Okay? So we want to show this with an equation and show how we got it on a number line. So A is saying, hey, do the equation. B is saying, hey, show me on a number line. Well, right now, okay. So is 10 going to be positive or negative? What did we personally get from Graham? Well, we got $10. That puts money in my pocket, which makes it positive. Then I gave somebody else money. So it's now coming out of my pocket, which means we are subtracting the 4 or adding a negative 4. Listen to what I said again. Because we're talking about addition, most of us would write this as 10 minus 4. These two expressions right here are written the same. They mean the same thing. 10 plus a negative 4 is the same as saying 10 minus 4. We would get the same answer, okay? But right now we're dealing with addition. So 10 plus the negative 4 is how I'm going to keep it. Well, right now I don't feel that confident yet. I can figure this out, but as soon as I see 10 plus a negative 4, to me, as I'm learning integers, that confuses me a little bit. So now we're going to come down here to our handy dandy number line. I've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12, 10, 9, 8. Just put an 11 there just for the heck of it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So we are going to show this equation in order to get an answer. Again, 10 minus 4 we know is 6. So I know that I'm going to be getting a 6, except we want number line addition. So I'm going to start at the 0. When I add 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am now here at 10. I finished nice and strong. I'm showing you that that's where I'm at. I put a line to really emphasize it. If you just want to put a dot or a point, that's fine. So there's my first number. That's my 10. Okay, so I've now gone, here's at my 0, and I've turned to the right. And I've counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I face back to the front. Now I'm looking at my next sign. It's a positive. Okay, so I know I'm adding. Adding usually means I'm going to be going to the right, but then it's a negative 4. So which way do I have to turn? Negative tells me that I've got to turn to the left. So now I'm turning to the left and I'm counting 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I'm ending up with my positive 6. So when it says write the equation, we've now got the addition equation in there. Okay? That is one way to do it. Do I have to do it by counting by each point? No. So go ahead and go to example 1. So that was exercise 1, as I almost just trip over a desk. Go to example 1. So now it says complete everything, -2 plus 3 by filling in the blanks. So I'm going to let you fill in the blanks on your own. I'm not even going to look at the problem. All I'm going to do is -2 plus 3, and we're going to walk through it. Okay? You should be capable of filling in the blanks. I want you to understand the addition with integers. So some of you are going to be able to say, since Monday's lesson talked about, hey, what's happening with my number line? We know where it's at. We know 0 pairs. We know how to zero something out. We can look at this and say, hey, it's going to be +1. Not all of us. So I'm at 0. I'm at -1, -2, -3, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, as we go to our negatives, all of our stuff is getting smaller. So the end of our arrow, when we start, will always begin at 0. So as I do this, my first number is low. So I'm going, again, I start at 0, -2. Well, which direction is my negative? It's to my left. So now I'm going to the left, -2. From there, what's the next number? Because our first term will always start at 0, always. So now I'm starting at -2 because it's already brought me here, and now I'm going over 3. Well, okay, so I'm down here at -2. Think. It's +3. Well, which way do I turn? Oh, I turn to the right because my positive numbers are to my right. So now I'm going over 1, 2, 3. And where does that put me? Well, that puts me at a +1. So I know that -2 plus 3 is 1. Questions on that? Well, you can't ask them. You're watching a video. I mean, come on now. Be smarter than that. Let's go. So, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to try. Let's see, where are we at? Just did example 1. Or example 2. Oh, man. So, we're starting to get into absolute values. We talked about it briefly yesterday, but we're starting to get into absolute values. And I will admit, this has been a struggle of mine teaching because I'm like, this is so easy, just do it. First off, we showed this to you yesterday. An absolute value of -7. Anytime that you have a number inside of an absolute value, it means the positive. Because this is saying the distance of -7 from 0. So if I have a number line, I've got 0. So here's -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. Let's take that one away. See? Struggling at, what time is it? 6:40 in the morning. Had trouble counting to 7. So, the absolute value, if I start at -7, that takes me all the way over here. When we are talking about distance, distance has no positive or negative value. All we're saying is how far is this guy from 0? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? That's what absolute value is saying. How far is the number from 0? Let me repeat that one more time, even though you heard it on Monday. How far is the distance from 0? So, taking a look at example 2, it says, how does absolute value determine the arrow length for -2? I want you to talk about distance. So do example 2 on your own. You're going to do example or exercise 2 on your own. And you are going to do example 3 on your own. That should take you 5 minutes. Then come on back to the rest of the class because we probably will have an exit ticket and some problem sets. Okay? So really, all we're talking about now is setting up the number line. If it says the absolute value of -7, well, the length from 0 is 7 units. The distance is 7 units. Kiddos, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.